already started.
Hey,
I've been recording for
shouldn't
like...
have hit the tree.
I'ma blow up.
Not another podcast, just a few good men coming together to share our perspective. What's yours?
How y'all doing? Welcome to the OP podcast, our perspective podcast, where it's a bunch of fellas. We just sitting down, jiving, talking reckless. It's my perspective, your perspective, and our perspective. It's how you see something, how I see something, and how we all see something, where we can agree to disagree on certain topics, or maybe how you see something may change my perspective on the topic. So, all right. So basically, all of us are friends. Like we have a group text, and we just basically just cut up all day in the group text. So we was like, hey, why not let the world see what we be talking about? So basically, the concept of this podcast is just to get our opinion across to you guys, and just basically let you see things from our eyes. Or, you know, maybe when we get a little bit further into the podcast, like when you guys comment and stuff, maybe something we said on the podcast, maybe you can have your opinion about something. Maybe that can change our opinion about it. So so I'll start it out. I'll introduce myself. I'll introduce myself, and then I'll go to my left. So I'll be the host. I'm the host. I'm Kales.
I'm D-Lo. Coach Will.
Slip.
Very white. All right, so basically I pretty much explained like the concept of our podcast. Let's go into like a few goals we have for the podcast. So one of the reasons why I wanted to start a podcast is because like my friends, some of them coach, we do electric work, and some of us are janitors, maybe I'll say. But basically, yeah, basically one of the reasons I want to do the podcast is because like we're getting older now, whether we like to realize it or not, and we have some pretty legendary moments. We have some fun moments, and we talk a lot of smack. So this would be a way, like when I'm older, I can go back and like I can look at things or whatever, like moments that we had as friends together. Also, like I want to get into like different like business ventures, like as far as like clothing lines, and maybe like being able like to own a gym with Coach Will or whatever, or you know maybe like even me and Derek owning our own electrical company. So you know, sky's the limit, man. Sky's the limit, man. So you know, I just want us to be able to have a good friendship, and then maybe like let different business ventures like open up other doors for us. What about you, Lo? Like what's like your like what's your goals for the podcast?
Have fun. Be lit. Like pretty much you nailed it. Like everything like that you said, pretty much I agree with, as far as all of us just coming together, gelling, and like your perspective, my perspective. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. A lot of times, most of the times, I'm gonna probably be right. But that's just, it is what it is. But I mean, nah, for real though, I feel like a lot of us.
That's your prerogative.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I feel like a lot of us at this table right now, like a lot of us got talent, and like, or like even if it's not sports wise, if it's not. You know what I'm saying? Being a comedian, like my man Slip, you know, a comedian, you know. We got a lot of talent, and it's like we said, we be on the phone 24/7, whatever. Not 24/7, because most of y'all got wives, you know what I'm saying? So you can't do that. But we be on the phone every day, locking in. So it's like, why not be able to do a podcast and talk about what we talk about 24/7 or whatever. Like, might as well. So I feel like this is gonna be a good podcast. Definitely.
So not to cut you off, Coach Will. But before Coach Will goes and says his goals for the podcast is basically. So what will we be talking about on the podcast? Basically, like sports.
A little bit of everything. Life.
Yeah, everyday life, marriage, fatherhood, brotherhood, loyalty, respect. Like, just everyday topics. Just everyday topics. That'll be the concept of our podcast.
So don't nobody take it offensive. Stuff that we talk about.
Yeah. Cause it's just our perspective. Our perspective. So, Coach Will, your goals.
But later on, once they get to comment their perspective, so we go off that. Later on, once we get everything going, myself, Cal, D-Lo, Slip, we're gonna be attending some games. We're gonna be finding some of the top athletes. We're also gonna be giving them a shout out on the podcast too. So that's our way of building our own platform and giving our youngsters, you can say what you can be giving them a voice too. We getting them out there, giving them chances.
Give them their flowers.
Giving them too. So other than that, man, like Cal said, time flies. So we always arguing anyway. This one right here, his perspective is always crazy. So why not instead of joining somebody else's platform, why not create our own? So I'm here with family. We're gonna have fun. Like the youngster said, we're gonna be lit. And here you go, Slip. What's your goal, baby? Go ahead, slide it over. You got it, brother.
I grab the mic like it's a glizzy.
Aspect is, we all here friends, family. We gonna be lit up, just hear our opinions, our opinions on things. We gonna talk a lot of stuff, just have fun on this broadcast. That's just part of life, that we live. We all getting older in life. It's time just to us to just make money and make goals for ourselves.
My man, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes, sir.
I drink to that.
Yeah, I got a drink right here. You get a drink to this right here.
Heavy?
Yeah, well, mine's simple, man. I just like to be around good people. People like I said, a family, fellowship, create good memories, Have a good conversation or two, you know what I'm saying? Grow with people. You gotta be around positive-minded people. You know what I'm saying? If you want to elevate, you can't keep yourself in the pits. You dig what I'm saying? And I just want to say and remember, we here, we getting together, we chilling, but this is not another podcast, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
It's
sir.
a few good men coming together.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Sharing our perspective, and eventually we want yours.
My man, that's what I'm talking about. So first, before we get into how we all met, or how we all know each other, go ahead and shout out your football team. Hey, you coach.
Shout out LBE Knights. Hey man, season coming up. Hey, if you want to come out there, hit me up, Coach D-Lo. Hey, give me some comments in there. I'll give you my numbers or whatever. We can get this going, popping. Season about to start. Coming up next week. Practice is going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays. I know y'all probably like, yo, I ain't about to do all this. It's okay. Just go ahead and come out. You gonna thank us in the long run because we're going to go back to the championship. So go ahead.
All right, so what age do you coach?
I coach 8U.
So that's 7 and 8 year old.
7 and 8. So come
Okay.
up there, 7 and 8. Even if you're a child 6 though, don't be like, oh, he a baby, he a good hair.
Too small.
Good.
He wasn't ready.
So come out.
Come
bro.
on out,
We
man.
gonna
Come on
definitely
out.
Get him right, bro. For real.
All right, that's Coach D-Lo. What about you, Coach Will?
Hustle and motivate, basketball. My team, as of right now, the 8th grade is going 9th. Been coaching 6 years. I got 5 championships. Been to 7. If you got a kid, no matter the talent, bring them out. We get them right. Also, shout out to Gwen Park JV football team. It's a lot of talent out there. We're gonna do our thing, and hopefully later on, we got this podcast. Us right here, we get our own unit, football, basketball, baseball, anything you need. So shout out to.
Yeah, actually too, man. Be on the lookout, man, because we came up with some cool little some graphic designs or whatever. So we want to start a clothing line too, man. So look out. So the podcast is our perspective, but the clothing line will be perspective in that. The end of the video, we'll show you guys a few designs or whatever, some things we coming up with, and hopefully, man, by episode 2-3, man, we'll be wearing our own stuff, man. We won't be wearing. It's like, everybody else, we're wearing everybody else clothing, making everybody else millionaires. Why not do it for ourselves? You know what I'm saying? The money that we spend on other people's stuff, why not invest into ourselves? So that's why I say we'll go ahead and we'll start our own clothing line. And the designs is raw. So hopefully by the time that this drops, we go ahead and patent this, because I know some of y'all be biting. So we going to go ahead and get that together. So, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, look out for that perspective clothing line too, man. We want to do regular everyday stuff like tech suits and stuff, and joggers, hats.
You got to do some sports shit too.
Yeah, we'll do some sports stuff. We'll do some sports stuff. You know what I'm saying? We'll do some sports stuff,
Lock in for y'all for the armbands.
All right, that's a bet. So now, the moment of truth. We'll start on one, and I'll start with heavy. And we'll explain how we all met, how we know each other, how long we've been friends or whatever. We'll start and we'll let you start, and we'll let you go through every person versus saying, I met you and then I met him through you, you know what I'm saying? So you can just go through every person, so on and so forth.
So, me and Kelvin, we met on the job site. We both work for the same company. And we was on the job, chopping it up, chilling at break. He was like, man, you cool. Made a couple bets for bottles. Mm-hmm. I lost a few of them. I had to come to work on a Friday with a smile on, with the big douche in my hand.
Famous for taking bottles.
I will. And I bet it on my team. I don't know about the rest of them, but I'll bet it on my team.
Call shit with
but I eventually, you ain't gonna lose them all. You're gonna win one. And I had to come through. I came over here for, I think it was a fight party or something. Got my bottle, we kicked it. I'm like, yeah, we've been chopping it up ever since. But me and Slip. I met Slip, through Kelvin. Through Kels, my bad.
Through Kels. He already said it. So if it's not known, my name is Kelvin. Kelvin, Calvin, Kevin, Keith, whatever with a K, that's what they call me. All right, so y'all just call me Kels in the comment though. Lil Kels, KP, Junior, whatever y'all know me as, man. I'm that guy, man.
But yeah, I met Slip through him. Slip, cool, like to party, like to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? And me and Coach Will, we lived in the same neighborhood out Clinton. You did.
In the churches, they said.
Man, listen, here you go. Man, I moved to Clinton when I was 16.
And that's Maryland, for y'all who don't know. Not the DMV. We say Maryland. It's Maryland, D.C., and Virginia are all separate entities, all right?
So, we live in the same neighborhood. We used to play
PG
ball
County.
Yes, sir. Play ball together, Every Sunday we used to meet up at Ragsville, play a good game of football. Good hitting game, bro. You used to come home with some bruises, bro, I swear. We used to chill, we had a good time, And then this guy right here.
One and only.
That's an irritating guy. Right there.
I'm telling you, man. So honestly, y'all, like out of everybody, man, in the group text, like his perspective is crazy sometimes, man. Like we be like, bro, what are you talking about, man? I don't know if it's the age gap or you know what I mean. It gotta be. It gotta be, man. Like I don't know. He's a wild one, man. So
you still wet behind the ears.
exactly. So hey, look. So y'all, man, as y'all start to know us a little bit more, man, y'all will start to see, man. Like he'll be like, man, he's one of them people. The earth flat. The earth flat. It ain't round. Like he one of them.
I ain't one of them. Hey, that's gonna be another topic because we're gonna talk about that.
Kyrie.
We're gonna talk about that later. That's your mind. Look, we're gonna talk about that later. All right, talk about that later.
All right, go ahead, Slip. It's on you, man. How you know everybody?
I'm at Kelvin. Me and him grew up the same.
Kales, bro. My name is Kales, y'all. It's Kales.
I met Kales.
Land.
Me and him grew up together. Wentbrook, shout out Wentbrook.
Wentbrook
In the house. Met him. Cool person. We always used to play football, basketball together. Cool friend. I just call him as a brother.
Mm-hmm.
All my true friends right there. I met Will.
Slip, you skipped the whole person. How you start with me? Skip a whole person. How you skip D-Lo? Come on.
Okay.
How you skip D-Lo?
Oh, I met D-Lo second. Through Calvin, but I see him a lot.
Hey, bro, it's all good,
It's the
man.
Henny, man.
It's that Henny, man.
Through Calvin, I see him a lot during the LBE football games, you know. Cool person. He wrong about half the stuff we talk about. You know? He's never right about anything, about the sports, about anything we talk about.
Jealousy, as you
But
can
he's
see
a
now.
very cool person. Will. Now Will, he was about. His grandma used to watch me.
But you used to babysit
I was
him.
about to
though.
say.
Go ahead. Later on in the podcast, we're gonna know. Somebody be gassing my man Slip up, but y'all figure that out later on.
Will was cool, you know. Cool brother, you know. Lost touch, but we back together. He's cool friends. Heavy. I'm heavy to Kales.
Okay.
Got it right there.
1 for 1.
Cool person. Down to earth, you know what I'm saying? My bro also. So that's how I met everybody.
Okay.
I know everybody but you, perspective.
Y'all like, y'all locked in.
So,
That's crazy.
mine's a little crazy. I don't know where to stop, man. I met Kels, second grade?
First grade.
First?
Yeah,
First grade. We was in the same class, first, second, third,
And 4th.
and fourth. Fifth grade, they figured out it was enough. They had to split it
Enough is enough.
up. And then sixth grade, of course, our boundaries, we had to separate. He went to another school. I had to go to Stephen Decatur. So, when me and him split, I actually met Heavy. I met him when he moved in the neighborhood. So I think I was 14?
Yeah.
So I met him when I was 14. This guy right here, I would go to school with him and then come home. What was this? I was in first or second grade. My grandmother used to babysit him and his brother. Okay? My grandmother didn't babysit me. I'm her grandchild. She babysitted him and his brother. So it was crazy. So then my cousin had passed away. So I haven't talked. I think Derek, you had moved. Oh, my bad. Have you moved? And then at the funeral, I came back. I ended up bumping into him. And then come to find out, Kale's invited me to a fight party. And I walk in the door, and he's here.
Nah, but what happened first,
So-
though? The phone call. You was like, man, what?
Yeah, of course, I was late because it wasn't my fault.
Like,
He called me, and it was it's crazy. So anyway, that's how. And he slipped already knew Kale, so that's how it over. mixed up. This guy, we was over here watching the
Hold on, can we
basketball
stop
game.
doing this guy like I'm just an any kind
Oh man, no.
This man,
Y'all don't understand. I met him, like I said, I was over Kale's, we were watching a basketball game, and he said, we're going to save this for another podcast. He said one of the craziest things a young man would ever say, but it's your perspective, it was wrong. But that's how I met D-Lo, and like I said, the group chat, we're in that, but it's not just laughing and joking, it's also motivation.
But also too, you gotta say too, y'all play flag football too, and y'all actually played.
We was actually in the same league before I met him. So actually, how I reconnected with Kale's during I work at a school, so during we had to go online, and I was online.
Work at the school.
Yeah, used to. We're gonna use that word. Used to. I was online with I think first grade class, and it was this student. She turned out. You know, you're not supposed to have favorites, but she was always one of my favorites. Every time I called on her, she always had the right answer. Always came to class online. And her last name was her last name. I don't want to say what it was. So one day, I heard, as I was in class, I heard somebody in the background. So he came to the camera, and I haven't seen him since 5th grade, and we already knew who whichever was. We switched information, and we've been locked in ever since. And that's how full circle I met everybody. Sorry, Coach D-Lo. It's on you,
Thank you, man. Look, I just want to say too, I don't like how these mics been like. I feel like I've been borrowing mics, like I'm a groupie or something.
Go ahead, you can take the mic, man. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like, you know what I'm saying. But let me.
I'm David Ruffin, and these are the Temptations.
Hey, nah,
go ahead, Lo, it's all
Hey,
you.
look, hey, nah, for real. All just aside though, man. Like, I just met like pretty much everybody up here, like except for Kel. Like I know him for probably what, 2 years, 2 and a half.
No, I'll probably say it's about like 4 years.
Oh,
Probably, yeah, probably about 4 years.
It's not long, but like know him for about 4 years. Yeah, so
2018, yeah.
Yeah.
So
about 4 years. Y'all don't need to know how I know him. Just know we locked in. You know what I'm saying? I knew him. Heavy, I just met Heavy like probably a month ago, but feel like forever. You know, he be disagreeing with me a lot, and I be trying to get him on my side, but you know what I'm saying? I don't understand. But we gonna talk about that, you know, at another day. Slip, my good man. So it's funny how I met Slip. So Slip, like, I coach LBE, so like we be out there every Saturday. Slip on the sideline. I coach defense, so I'm on the sideline, like running up and down the field, up and down, hype. I always seen Slip behind me for some reason yelling, "Hey, that's what's up, that's what's up." So I'm like, that's my man. So it's crazy. One day, Kel had like a fight night. He had like a fighting game or a fighting drink on fight match, whatever.
I hosted a fight party, a boxing match,
Yeah.
a fight night. I don't know what he's talking about.
I was thinking about the game.
So I usually have like my house is probably like the hangout spot for everybody. We come over here, we play games, we had cookouts or whatever. We all contribute. But my house is the house that everybody can come to. You want to get away, man? Just we smoke the hookah, man. We put something in the air. We drink, like, you know what I'm saying. That's my house. My house is a chill spot. So yeah.
And so I think where was that? Slip. Nah, was it Slip? That's what I was talking about. Oh yeah, so Slip. Funny, Slip was here, and I'm like, I ain't even do that at the football field, whatever. And I was like, yeah, you look familiar, or whatever. I met Will. We had a game. Like, we was here for another fighting match or whatever. So we had a game. I'm trying to heal up. I'm like, yeah, bro, I got a game on Sunday, bro. He like, yeah, me too, bro. I'm like, shit, what time y'all play? He like, shit, we play at like 9. I'm like,
Saturday
we
night.
play. Yeah, I'm like, we play at 9. We over this joint. Anytime we over bro house, we just like drinking or whatever. He be having a bottle, so we drinking. But I'm still trying, mind you, I'm still trying to be, you know, on my best behavior. So we chilling or whatever. And then he's like, damn, we play y'all tomorrow. I'm like, damn, that's crazy, bro. So that's not when you fake hurt. You like, I was hurt, but I'm like, I don't want this nigga to see I'm just like hurt. Cause I'm like, I just met, bro. He might be like, yeah, they got a nigga that just like hurt playing ball. So I try to get on my shit, but I mean, he cool people though. Like it's crazy too. I was at the game. That's when I knew my man was loyal. We at the game. I got hurt, and my man was like, he said, "Hey, bro, you good, bro?" Like he like, "Yeah, bro. Let me check on you. Like you good, bro?" He ain't want to help me though. That's the only part. He ain't want to help me to my sideline.
You gotta tell them the story. It was
on the kickoff time, a little kickoff joint. I went under a little like dude. I tried to go like low or whatever, and I just like come to find out I had a hairline fracture in my knee, so I fell to the ground. Will came over. He's like, "Hey, y'all." And he like, "Yeah." Hey, he telling my team, he like, "Hey, yo." He said, "You good, bro?" I'm like, "Yeah." Everybody else on his team gone to the sideline. Bro still out there. He like, "Hey, y'all, come get." He's like, "My fault, bro. I ain't won." You know what I'm saying? I was like, "But that's all good though, cause you stayed up there." So my man, you know what I'm saying?
I couldn't carry him to the sideline.
You
He was
know?
on the opposite team.
Exactly, but he stayed there. So
Make
we
sure
locked
he was
in though, man.
All
straight.
right.
He was straight.
So I mean, well, there's really no need for me to say how I know everybody because they already said how we pretty much know each other. But I would say, yeah. So we've known each other probably about 4 years. I knew you, Will. I knew you throughout elementary school, and we reconnected again through my daughter and her school, and we've been connected at the hip ever since.
That's crazy.
Me and Slip, I've known Slip since Slip? I was probably like 5 or 6. You know what I'm saying? I was the bad little kid in the neighborhood that like terrorized the neighborhood. I was that little kid, and me and Heavy, probably about at least a good like 7, 8 years, probably something like that. Yeah, at least a good like 7, 8 years or whatever. So yeah, man, we definitely, man, we getting older, man, and that's another reason like why I said I wanted to start the podcast, man. So this is something we can go back and look on, you know, subjects that's not too touchy and like kid friendly. Like our kids can go back and watch this, and you know they can see our progression as men. All right, so we pretty much covered how we met each other, how the podcast came about. So before I get into my first topic that I wanted to talk about, I'm gonna throw something in here that I seen recently that I want to throw in the podcast also. So I was on YouTube earlier, right? All right, it says the top NFL QBs is voted by NFL execs, coaches, and players.
Talk about it.
Number 1, Aaron Rodgers. Number 2, Patty Mahomes. Number 3, Josh Allen. Number 4, Tom Brady. And number 5, Joe Burrow. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was surprised to see Joe Burrow in the top 5.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, like, I really don't even. I mean, Josh Allen, he's a dog, but I really don't think he's top 5. Josh Allen.
These players is playing right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Josh Allen should definitely be
Josh Allen
top 5.
All right, so okay, we'll say so. Josh Allen top 5. So so let me give y'all a list of people though. So is Josh Allen, is he better than Lamar Jackson? We have Russell Wilson.
He is. Numbers wise,
Justin Herbert.
Josh Allen, since he's been in the league.
And Lamar Jackson.
Even that though.
I'm a Lamar fan, but numbers wise, Josh Allen's that man.
Josh Allen, that dude, bro.
Yeah, he that man, bro. And I'm a Lamar fan.
Josh Allen
bro.
was 15 seconds away from beating the Chiefs.
I'm not going to.
Then he probably would have beat the Bengals the next.
Yeah,
game.
I ain't gonna lie. He would have probably been in the Super Bowl. We wouldn't be putting Joe Burrow in that conversation.
Josh Allen is that dude.
So all right, so
I'm serious, bro.
So the only person that we probably say is interchangeable in that top 5
is Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
I would probably take him out for y'all gonna say I'm a homer, but I'm taking him out for my staff.
Okay. I mean, I can dig it, and
I do be so.
but see, my thing about
Take off from my Stafford.
so like my thing about Joe Burrow
Stafford's a
is
top
that
player in the league.
he doesn't
Said
have
quarterback.
any. Joe Burrow doesn't have any tape on him.
He said
So-
quarterback.
No, he didn't. He said Aaron Donald is number one.
No, we didn't.
No,
He said
no,
Aaron
no.
Rodgers.
Rodgers.
See, that's what we mean by perspective, right?
I ain't gonna lie. My fault. Alright, my fault.
That's
You know what I'm
one.
saying?
That's one.
I thought he said Aaron Donald, and I was like, oh, I had top 5 players.
They gonna comment with you, so you at one already.
Tell me what y'all heard.
Okay. So he said top
I
5
named like all
quarterbacks.
quarterbacks.
Hey,
bro.
He said
So we
Aaron
gonna have to
Rodgers,
keep a joint
Patty Mahomes,
for when Lowe
Josh
mess up.
Allen,
For the rest of
And
Tom
he's drinking water.
Yeah.
Man,
look,
he's
man,
drinking
We
water.
gonna have to keep a tally
Look.
for every time Lowe mess up and not hear the right name.
Come on, coach. Come on, man.
All right, so y'all agree with that top 5? Maybe number 5.
I'm
spot?
changing number 5.
Not number 5.
I'm taking Joe Burrow.
Now I put Lamar at number 5. To be honest.
I may put.
If we talking quarterback, I'm not putting them out. We talking
I may
about
put Russ.
I'm
offensive
putting
threat.
Russ.
I put Russ in there. I'm gonna say Russ too.
Russ, that
I
deep
put
ball,
Russ.
that deep ball,
Yeah,
second
Russ.
series.
Yeah, I put Russ in there.
You gotta put Lamar.
Justin Herbert an argument for 5 too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta nah. He
What?
no. He's too.
Here we go.
He a baby.
go.
He wet behind the ears. What y'all say? He wet behind the ears. He wet behind the ears.
I'm pretty sure we probably looked though. Herbert numbers were probably better than Joe Burrow's though.
Herbert numbers.
That's facts.
is-
That's
is-
facts.
is-
But
You right, probably.
we count
Probably.
the Super Bowl, but he still lost though. So
I mean, Justin Herbert. I looked at his stats. I think the first year he threw for 5. He threw for 5,000 each shit. So you right. He better than Joe Burrow, but I mean.
but Joe Burrow got hurt his second year too. But that was his first year.
First year.
Oh yeah, his
First
first
year.
year.
Versus the Commanders.
Yeah.
He tore his.
Yeah, he got hurt again. Who he get hurt against?
Team.
Who get hurt?
I don't care what they say.
Who he get hurt again?
We the
all right,
Washington
so
football team.
and so for everybody,
Washington football team.
Heavy, Slip,
Commanders.
and D-Lo,
Man,
they're
the Washington
Washington
football
football team,
Commanders.
Commanders, whatever their name
When we go to the Super Bowl, I bet he
Will
say-
is a Rams fan. Will is a Rams fan, and I'm a Vikings fan.
So before y'all ask or before you comment, when I met you in middle school, who was my team?
You've been around.
All right, there we go.
Allegedly.
All we heard about was the greatest show on earth.
Hey,
Ain't
Hey,
nobody ever
Hey,
say
look.
I'm on the
Look,
bandwagon.
everybody,
Before we
nah,
went
you
to
right. Yeah, I
we
don't
went
know
to
what
the
made.
Super Bowl. Who was my team?
I don't know what made him like the Vikings.
So,
Randy Moss,
So
Dante Moss.
during the season,
Yeah.
Cal,
Dante was.
he hit my phone and we went to. It was probably what was it, a Sunday game? It was probably one of the best games of the season last year. It was the Vikings and Ravens.
Yeah.
That's before we went to the Super Bowl. That was a fan. Shout out to Cavs too. That game was on NFL Network, the top games last year too. That was one of the
Who
top
won that
games.
game?
The Ravens went in overtime, but it was like 2 bad calls. They got him up there. Not to be a homer, but it was 2 bad calls. They got him.
All right, so
Y'all really about to pull up stats?
so next topic that we saw yesterday on social media. John Morant said he could beat Jordan 1-on-1. So to me, like before we start rolling the camera again, what Heavy was saying is you're supposed to feel like that. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to feel like anybody can beat you, but you also gotta know the caliber of person you're going up against.
Stay humble.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta so all right. So my vote is Jordan. What's your vote?
Jordan.
Oh man, hey Slim.
It's obvious.
Nah, but like y'all gotta think though. See, that's
But what was you just saying?
You gonna say
But listen,
West?
so
But
let
you
me
said
tell you
Ja
my
at
perspective. No, I never said
What you say?
Ja.
What you say?
See,
What you
again, that's
say?
what I'm saying.
All right, we here now. What you?
Listen, let me move the mic so people can hear me.
So
What I'm saying
that's
is-
no more than right.
Listen, nah, you can keep that out there. But all I'm saying is, as far as Ja, the way he was asked, she set him up for basically to be like, so you basically saying you can beat him. And he was just like, yeah, I can beat him. Like, yeah. Like, and I don't blame him for saying that. Like, me personally,
He gonna beat D Rose.
I'm just saying.
Nah.
I'm just saying, if you ask me personally, everybody always bring up this Jordan. Oh, Jordan is the greatest defender. And I seen today, Let me just go to it, but
Talking about
cause
Allen Iverson.
no, I mean we seen that. That's old.
Rex Chapman.
Rex Chapman was cooking.
But just because that don't mean
That's
all
one
right,
player.
that's one game.
But I'm just
player.
saying.
And
Did-
all of
did
that
he win that
all
game?
of that was spot
All
up
I'm
shooting.
saying,
though.
no, a
A
lot of
it was spot up shooting.
Not a
though. I
lot.
watched it.
You was some of them.
Did
He
the
was
Heat win that game?
giving them
Look at that
a
guy.
the Heat after the Heat won that
Yeah.
game. Yeah, they won.
Who you say?
And Rex Chapman, I don't even know who Cuz is.
Right. Okay.
Google probably don't even know who he is.
All right, so I'll go back to what I said. I said 1-on-1 and 5-on-5 that's two totally different. That's straight half court basketball. That's bully ball. So there's no pick and roll. So he don't got no center to run around.
How tall is Jordan?
He don't.
6'6".
Yeah, 6'6". He don't.
How tall
have-
is John? 6'3"?
Yeah.
Short.
Probably like 6'2" for real.
Yeah.
He don't have no backdoor screens that he can run. He's not getting
He
no
don't-
transition,
he don't have
no
a
outlet
head
Can
of
I
pass.
ask y'all a
steam.
question though?
He don't have a head of steam.
Can I
Hit him with your
Can I
little weak ass
ask y'all a
triple
question?
threat.
Hold
He
on,
gonna be out
hold on.
there
Can I
That
like
jump
you.
is trash. I was watching videos of that
Can I
jump.
ask y'all a question though?
Yeah.
Why y'all bring up the physical attributes when we talk about Jordan versus smaller people?
Well,
I didn't say any
Have you
physical.
played one
Listen,
on
no,
one?
I'm
I
about to
didn't
tell
say
you
any
something.
physical attributes.
No,
I just
y'all-
told
y'all
you
are giving
what
me-
he's not going to do in a half
Y'all
court.
giving me-
In a half court
Alright, go
set
ahead.
versus a
Let
full
him-
court.
Alright, but what I'm
That's
saying is when it's Jordan versus somebody smaller, y'all want to give me his shoe size is bigger, his
shoe
arm,
size.
and he's wider, and he gonna back him down. But then when we bring up people like LeBron, it's but he still can't be Brown 1-on-1 because I will take
You think
LeBron James
LeBron
over
go
Jordan
back
1-on-1.
down?
Huh?
You
You think
tripping?
LeBron
You
gonna back
tripping.
Jordan down?
LeBron
know
was-
how-
Who was it?
So
Jordan?
how tall is
Who
We're
was
not
it to
talking
play
about
on
LeBron.
How
Come
many
on, Ja
defensive
Morant.
first teams or defensive
No, he's
player
on
of the year
LeBron.
that
Didn't
LeBron
Jordan-
won?
Didn't Jordan?
I know you're talking. I didn't say
was it
anything.
George what? Who was it?
I just asked you a simple
Played
question.
for the
Has
Bobcats. Jordan
Jordan
came on the sideline and told him what to do against LeBron and shut him down.
has
Who
LeBron
was
won?
that?
Has LeBron been on defensive first teams or won defensive player of the year?
Bobcats.
That was back in the hundred.
Wow.
Well, they were playing more physical back then, though. They were playing more
Wallace.
physical.
I guess.
LeBron not been on
I guess
defensive
if
team.
he got all them awards, congratulations, Jordan.
But
All I'm saying is-
so what I'm saying is, this is the difference between your GOAT and the GOAT. And I'm a Kobe fan, and I still say MJ. is
Nah,
the GOAT.
MJ's a GOAT.
But the GOAT of your era, the difference is between them. Jordan was going to give you 35 points, and then he was still going to strap up the best player on your team.
So LeBron couldn't survive back in the day.
No,
He's 6'10". You right.
no,
You right.
not
No,
playing physical like that.
No, you right. You right.
Not playing physical like that. No, I don't think so.
You right.
I don't think so.
I mean,
If we look at that, matter of fact, if we look at whoever he was playing, the Miami Heat, Jordan, Alex Chapman is not. Rex Chapman is not the best player. So that's.
but you only got
One player.
one player. One player.
I
One
got
player,
you. I
though.
have Jordan
One
highlights.
player.
I'm sure he
It's
ain't
numerous
checking the
players
best
gave
people.
Bron a bucket.
Okay, and
a
I'm
few.
sure some good people that gave Jordan
But
buckets.
right now, you only saying one.
Allen Iverson, bucket.
Yeah, Jordan still dropped damn near 40 and 1.
Hey,
That's because he was on the Sixers.
Okay. All right.
we going out with that, like.
So all right, so that's 3-0. What you got, Slip?
Jordan.
Derrick Rose.
I got him up there.
All right, so now switching subjects. D-Lo,
Yeah, man.
Talk about it.
Chris Brown versus Usher.
Here we
What
go.
about it?
have mercy.
Chris
go.
Brown versus Usher
Really?
What about it?
in a versus. And we just mean hit for hit, not singing, not production, dancing. Hit for hit. I mean singing. Usher got him.
Usher got him. Usher
Yeah.
ain't singing.
So do you really think 20 songs that Chris Brown could beat Usher in the verses?
So for the
Boy.
to be nice, I would say Usher got him.
Usher got him.
Oh.
Usher got him.
Okay.
Oh.
And he's a Chris.
But let me say this. Let me you know let me tell you something real quick. I just don't like the fact that people be disrespecting Chris
Ain't
Brown
nobody
like he can't
disrespecting
compete.
him.
Like my thing is though, Usher He play out his hits or whatever, like Confessions. Dog, he got what's the other one? You got it. What album is that?
You got it, man.
Yeah, on it.
87
Yeah, something.
87
Something that joint like that, but like you know, USHER. Yeah, like he got that. He got all that, but I'm saying like we gotta think. Who y'all really think is better, Usher or Chris Brown? Because this is my thing. I hear a lot of people comparing Michael Jackson and they say Chris Brown. Usher been in the game too long not to be compared to Michael Jackson. Am I wrong?
Is that because Chris Brown dances? And
No, it's because of performance and his music. What are you saying? Like, what are y'all saying?
Okay.
Usher dance. Do he not?
Because he doesn't dance like Chris Brown, though.
That's my fault. Go to dance class.
So that's probably why they compare him to Michael Jackson.
Right.
He said hit for hit.
Really think that. Like, truly. That he's better.
It's the next Michael Jackson?
That he's better than
I think Chris Brown, for him to do what he did since he's been in the game, yes. Usher's an OG.
I like Chris Brown. I've been to his concert.
He the prince of something. What is Usher? Usher's not the prince, the king, what is he?
Like.
No, you were tripping.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'm gonna go with Slip. I'm not even gonna get into it with you.
He had chili.
For the sake of YouTube, cause I'm gonna let y'all know. This
He
conversation
had chili and went to Applebee's.
Last weekend we had them maybe 13-2. Maybe something
playing
like that.
songs.
It was the
back
drinks.
to back.
It was the
What
drinks.
you mean? It was the drinks.
It was the drinks. I wasn't
I
picking
didn't
the
bring
right.
the same people in his show.
I wasn't picking in the right order.
I wish we would have recorded.
I ain't having right order, bro.
The right
Would
order.
have been copyrighted.
Yeah.
Bro, I could have just opened up the joint and then went like this.
I'm telling you. I mean, just on Confessions alone, man, he probably got like 10 on Chris Brown.
That
album
alone.
But
One album alone.
All we can do is just take his Tiny Desk performance and cut the joint on.
That's all he gonna do, cause that's you know why he was on the Tiny Desk?
Why?
Because that's what he is. He's a little Chris Brown. He's a little.
I gotta take that one.
He's a tiny Chris Brown. You know. It is what it is, bro. But hey, look, man, I'm an Usher fan, though. I ain't gonna lie, though. Like, real stuff, bro. Like, Michael Jackson, Usher, Chris Brown, all of them, like, as far as dancing.
Oh, you saying dancing? I thought
Yeah,
you said
that's
performance.
Performance-wise, who else?
Prince.
Prince, I'm not. Performance?
Hey,
Prince.
Did the Super Bowl, bro, in the rain. Did Purple Rain.
Hey, look, that was.
And they asked him when it was raining, what he gonna do? He said, "Can you make it rain harder?" Look what out that joint that did him with his head tied up, man. Right. In the rain. In the rain.
That's ain't crank.
Boy,
That ain't nothing like Take You Down.
Anywho, all right. Oh my lord! All right.
Hey, Chris Brown, did you pay this man to come on?
I'm
here and
just
say
telling
this?
you,
All right, so look. I'll say this for the sake of your argument. So I'm not gonna say that Chris Brown doesn't have hits, but his hits, none of his hits are as big as Usher's. That's
None.
None.
All right, can we at least say like 4 or 5? He got like 4.
But even if he plays his biggest hits, like they're not gonna be bigger than.
Y'all said Climax is better than Wet the Bed, bruh. Come on.
Most people don't even know Wet the Bed though.
Right.
I mean,
I ain't
but
know
you
about that
asked
song
several
until you
females
said
that question.
And they said
They know.
Wet the Bed.
And I mean, I'm glad I listened to it.
And it was lovely, right?
Cool.
Doop, doop, doop. Then finally the body drip, drip.
Hey, go ahead.
Soon as you hear that,
So you know,
Hey, so ladies, just know if it come down to it, Lowe's gonna play that Wet the Bed.
that's just so. But you know what I would like to hear though? That song right there. And I'm a little older, so I like screw music. But I would like to hear that song, Chop and Screw.
Chopped and screwed.
Yes, sir.
What song?
What the bed?
Chop and screw.
Yeah. You don't know nothing about screw music.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't
You
know
know
like
Chop and
how.
Screw music?
Like I know the actual
That's all
song, like Chop and Screw. I
You know who Mike Jones is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who?
She ain't never heard
I
like
should've said
screwed
who?
music, period. Like you ain't just never heard screwed up music.
Nah, like I be hearing like artists like T-Pain be doing a little mashup joint. That's it. But I like the song with who did it? Ludacris and T-Pain.
All right, next. All right, switching subjects again, man. So, all right, so a quick subject I want to touch on. Dude, I know he just ain't say chopped and screwed and put T-Pain.
Nah, they got a song called.
Yeah, I know they do, but no, that's
I
not
gotta
what we're
listen to
talking. That's not what we're talking about. All right, so
Wow.
the next thing I wanted to talk about before we end the podcast is I wanted to talk about it was a viral clip on World Star. I seen it on World Star where it was a man. Him and his woman had a child, and she had 3 previous children from relationships, and he just brung his child dinner, and he didn't bring the other children dinner, and
I want the McDonald's.
yeah. When he bought his child McDonald's, and she threw the McDonald's away or whatever. Like I want to play something first.
She threw it away.
That we can all hear. And Rick Ross commented on it. And, this is what Rick Ross had to say.
First and foremost, let me address this situation with the young lady throwing that food down. Bitch, don't you ever throw no food down. All these kids out here starving. All these kids out here hungry. Don't you ever throw no food down. That's rule number one. That's rule number one. They could have bust that orange soda down 7 ways. Them fries could have been bust down. You put a pile of that goddamn ketchup right there, and y'all could have diced that little hamburger like it was a goddamn piece of more ugly. Man, homie, go to Wingstop, man. Get that 10 piece.
All right. So that's enough of that. But so I feel what he's saying. So it will go, and we'll start. We'll start. He did sound hungry. We'll start with D-Lo. Do you think it was right for him to bring just his child food and not bring the other children food?
Nah, like I feel like what he did. I mean, they not together, right? I don't know the situation. They wasn't together, right? So if they not together in that situation, like, nah, I mean, you not messing with each other. But I'm still take care of my child. Like, and that's just how it is. I mean, I don't know how the other kids gonna eat, but I mean.
So all right, so you're saying that you just would have bought?
Yeah,
because you had me confused at first. So you're saying you just would have bought your kid food, and not bought the
I would
other
have did
food.
what he did.
Okay.
Like, we not together no more. Like, we.
Okay. What about you?
I ain't about to play house.
It depends. I mean, we don't really know their situation. But I definitely think she took that ungrateful, because it's a lot of men ain't bringing their kids nothing. So
You know how much gas costs?
that too.
We on the ride all the way there.
I mean, it didn't like in the clip. She didn't make sense because she said, "How is this helping your child? How is it helping your child?"
He's gonna eat.
I mean, he's definitely gonna eat. So
He
I'm
gonna
not
go to bed
really
with a
sure.
smile on his face.
It's definitely not his responsibility. The other 3.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
I don't want to sound too bad, but if she was, responsible enough to have 3 with them, then she need to work that out. It's not really his
especially because
responsibility.
she was saying like, my food stamps.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, we don't really know that situation, but outside looking in from that clip, I don't think my man was wrong. He brung his son some food because he could have brung his son nothing, but instead he made sure his son eat. So with them other 3, first of all, why she got 4? We ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's another story. But he's definitely not wrong for that. We're not wrong for that. Not wrong with it.
But nah, I was about to say. I want to say something.
Hold on, go ahead.
I want to say something.
Alright, so basically, I'm going to just give y'all like a little bit more context. So, she was saying that, of course, like her food stamps ain't come in, but like the whole thing that like she was basically pressing is, how would it look if my child or our child's up there eating McDonald's, like the rest of my 3 kids looking like where the food at?
So I was gonna when I was gonna say my side, I was gonna say something to that too.
But I said that's kind of like
Yeah,
that's kind of like where the whole conversation like stem from.
So I understand what she's saying, but also too to back him, we don't know if it's been several times where he bought all the kids food, and you know what I'm saying, or what if he didn't have it to buy all of those kids food. Now also too, instead of going to now, if it was me, now I probably just would have picked up my child and took my child out to eat. Maybe that's one thing. Or instead of spending on a McDonald's meal, what you spending $10, $11, he could have went to Little Caesars and got a couple pieces, and he could have fed all the children. But also, that's not his responsibility though. So I mean, you're the mom, and he's the dad of that one particular child. Where are the other dads at? You know what I'm saying? How do we know the other dads are doing the same thing with his child too? So it's kind of like you can go like back and forth with it, but I think she was a little bit immature about taking the food and throwing the food
throwing it away.
Yeah, throwing the food on the ground. Now you just wasted money.
And did he know that the other kids were there when he brought his son?
Yeah, so it's like it's
maybe he just brought his son that because he thought his son was just there, not the other.
It's just like Avion Crawford was saying. Like I was looking at his joint, he doing the interview, and he was basically like, he not. You know, it's a lot of baby fathers out here that's not doing for their kids or whatever the case may be. True. But you get one that is doing for them and he still get bad. So that's where it's always like that back of your mind. It's like, be damn if we do, damn if we don't. Mm-hmm. Sometimes. That's why sometimes men carry that mindset because it's like nothing is going to ever be good regardless. So it's like...
And then like she said something like, didn't she say something like,
but the whole
you weren't saying that like when... Well, you be laying down with me and stuff. Like, what did that have to do with anything or whatever? I mean, to me, you're foolish for if he's not helping you with your other kids.
Still doing that.
You're foolish for, you know what I'm saying? That's on you. So I mean, we see why when you start to see why certain people are in certain situations.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? What you say, Slip? So if it was you, that was your child, would you have provided food for all the other children, or would you just have bought your child some food?
In my opinion, me being a nice person, I just bought all of something though that ain't mine, because you got a lot of deadbeat fathers out here that ain't providing for nobody. Mm-hmm. So basically, I just bought the whole kid something if I had the money, like all the kids would eat. Regardless of the situation, all the kids would eat. Either the kids ain't mine, like, I'm gonna be a stand-up guy, say, okay, here all the kids can get something.
What about if we like put them in a different room? Like we put like, all right, well my son gonna go in this room. Hey, look, man, she been petty, man.
I mean, she was born for a person, but the days like, you don't know how much money this man had to buy anything. Maybe he didn't have enough money to buy it.
And that's another thing, man, because like me, Heavy, Slip, Will, we come from the era like. Bro, like, everything's not meant for everybody to see. Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, low era, like, why everything you got everything you do, you got to put up for Instagram.
Oh, they shooting.
You got to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
why you recording, bro? Get out of there.
I'll say something like this, like, and, like, I'm a Nip fan, I'm a Kobe fan or whatever, but, like, one of the things that hurt me about, like, seeing, like, situations like that, like, a person will pick up the phone and record you dying and taking your last breath before they'll call 911 for you. Yeah. And like that's to me, like I think it's like this clout thing, man. It's like it's a real bad drug, man. Clout is a hell of a drug, man. So I just wish like we can go back to the old days sometime, man. It's like now, like, you know, you can. Like these high school kids and stuff, like they got fame or whatever. They got millions of followers before they even get to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them, they get to the league or they're on their way to the league and they don't live up to that hype or whatever, man. So
they get big headed and they forgot what gets them there in the first place.
Nobody want to grind.
They let the fame get there already. And then,
Definitely.
You know how that happens.
So yeah, man. So I say, man, like me, I wish like this whole clout thing, like that can go somewhere. I'm not cool with that. So what about you?
I mean, you know, I'm non-confrontational, bruh. And my mother, you know, was the mother around the way. Just fed everybody. You want to come lay down? Come lay down. You know what I'm saying? Things ain't going right. Got a hot shower in the meal. So I'm just gonna buy more food and keep it pushing. I mean, you know, I don't, like you said, like y'all made good points. You don't know his situation. You don't know if he had the money. You don't know if he been doing it and they not been doing it for his. You don't know what they been going through. But me personally, I'm just non-confrontational. I'd have bought everybody some food, kept it pushing. You know what I'm saying? You get your blessings on the back end.
Yeah. All right. So like this, just so like this me. So like me. So like say like she say, all right, I don't have no money, and can you buy your son some food? All right. Okay. Monday, Tuesday, I'm buying everybody some food. But Wednesday, it's like that's not my responsibility. Like I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all right, let me get my son, and then I'll take him out to go get something to eat. And you and the kids, like y'all gotta figure it out or whatever. So that's why I say, man, it's like you never know people's situations. So we just wanted to give a little insight on that. I felt like that was a good little topic that we could talk about, especially for our first podcast or whatever. And before we reflect, anybody got anything to say? You want to add anything? You want to say anything?
Yeah. Make sure y'all leave a comment and leave your perspective on the whole situation, because like you said, we have 4 different perspectives right here, so there might be more perspectives out there.
Most definitely.
So make sure you do that.
All right, so I want to end on a more positive note or whatever. It's still kind of touchy, but it's positive too. I want to go ahead and give Slip the floor. I know I'll go ahead and get a little bit of backstory. Last week he texted us in the group text, and was it Tuesday and Thursday? Tuesday and Thursday last week, he lost 2 relatives, 2 cousins or whatever. So we want to go ahead and dedicate our first episode of our podcast to Slip's cousins or whatever. And I'll go. What's your cousin's names?
Tavon and Tyrone.
Tavon and Tyrone. So we want to go ahead and dedicate our first episode of our podcast to Tavon and Tyrone. And we're going to let you in the podcast, Slip, man.
Don't take life for granted. Every day's a blessing when you wake up to see another day, and life is basically too short. I mean, my first cousin, I seen him when the last time I went out. We hung out. It was my last time seeing him, but I was happy that I was able to.
The Friday before.
See my cousin.
The Friday before. Let them know. The
Friday before I met my cousin at the bar. I was glad I hung out with him, but I didn't know that was my last time me seeing him. So it's heartbroken, but we gonna get through it as a family. Mm-hmm. He's in a better place. So don't take life for granted. Every day you wake up is just a blessing.
And what about your other cousin?
My other cousin, he had surgery or something, and surgery led to him being in a coma.
Mm-hmm. And
he died in a coma. He died
2 weeks later.
2 weeks later.
After being in a coma. So, yeah, man. So, we just want to go ahead and dedicate this first episode to Tavon and Tyrone. I want to do something, too, that I seen on another podcast, too, because these my bros, these my friends. So, I want to do, like, a little, like, mental health check or whatever. I want to see, like, like, how's everybody doing or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, is there anything like that I could do to possibly help you? Anything I feel like you could do to possibly help me to feel a little bit better about myself if I'm going through anything? And I just want to let it be known that as men, I guess, like, growing up, like, from a boy, it's kind of like, you're taught to, like, hold your emotions and not talk about stuff if you're going through something, or it's kind of like as a man, like you're kind of like you got to have like your guard up all the time. And like I can talk, it's been times where like if I'm feeling a certain way or feeling a certain way about another individual, I done talk to Will about it, I done talk to Heavy about it, Slip, we done had conversations, me and D-Lo done had conversations and recently had conversations about how we felt about a situation and we didn't like how somebody else handled their self in a certain situation or whatever. So, I just want to let like
all my bros know that, like, you know, if I'm going through something or if you going through something, don't ever be afraid to talk to me. I won't never be afraid to talk to you. So, all right, so we'll end it with so with me, I'll say all around the board, like say how I feel, like mentally, physically, like I'll say like emotionally, I'll say I'm at an 8 all across the board. What about you, Lo?
That's a good enough.
I'm like, probably like.
It's like I'm not at the highest where I want to be, but I'm good though. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's bothering me right now. I'm good.
For me, it depends on like what we talk about, like mental. Like if you talking about financially, if you talking about emotionally, if you talking about like, it's a lot when you think about that. So for me, I mean, financially, you not. No, I don't think nobody's gonna.
All right, so I'll just bring it like mentally. How are you mentally?
I mean, cool. About probably like a good 6.5.
6.5. Why you say you was 6.5?
Cause I mean, every day you.
I mean, cause 6.5, that's like almost like at
7.
that's okay. So that's a little better, but like 6.5, like you like close to like a 5 or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, it's like more of a I challenge myself. Okay. So like, cause I see people, you know, like every day I see people going through stuff. So it's like for me, it's like I challenge myself to be appreciative and thank God for waking up or seeing what other people go through in their situations. It's like I don't take nothing for granted. So I definitely put myself. I always say a 6. I'm never gonna say I'm like nothing big or like, oh yeah, I'm good.
So that's more like average to you. Then.
Yeah,
I'm
chilling.
So that
but I definitely want to get better
mentally. So that was so what about like physically? The knee good? You good?
Yeah, so far. I mean, it's still I still got my moments or whatever. But like on another thing though, and this mental stuff, bro. Like if y'all feeling some type of way, reach out to somebody and talk to people too. Like don't think, and like he was saying with the whole man thing. People don't know this, but it's a lot of men. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's a lot of men that's committing suicide more than women or something like that. So, y'all gotta like really take that stuff into consideration and reach out to somebody and, talk. Cause we here. Like, I'm willing to listen to anybody. If you know me and you feel like you just want to talk about something, bro, I'm here. Even if most of the time I'm coaching or working or something, bro, but I ain't got the answers. I'm young, but I ain't got all the answers. But I'm willing to hear you out. Because sometimes that's what people need to do. Just hear you.
Just need a voice.
Yeah, so definitely reach out to people.
All right, what about you, Will?
I'll probably say about a 7. Mentally, I'll probably say about a 7. I'll probably say about a 6.5, 7. A few things went on that, brought me down a little bit, but it's a lot I'm looking forward to, like next couple of weeks. So I'm probably at a 6.5, 7. Physically, I'm good. I'll probably say about an 8. Yeah, I'm probably about an 8. I'm good. Happy your knee good, so we can step on the court as soon as you figure stuff.
That week trying to
figure it out. I'm good though. I'm straight.
What about you, Slip? How you feel? I know you was down the last couple days or whatever.
Yeah, I was down. Physically, I'm good. Mentally, I'll say about 1. Got a lot of things I need to get myself together to work on. But physically, I'm good. Physically, I can say about 8. But mentally, about a 1. Got a lot of stuff I need to work on to improve.
All right, so you say a 1. What's some things that we can do to help you out to get that 1 to like a 7 or 8? You know what I'm saying? Cause we, without going into detail, we all have some talks or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Make sure I'm doing the right thing. Like,
keep pushing,
keep
striving to do better. You know
for
what
me
I'm
to do
saying?
better.
Don't never get complacent or like being where you at.
Yeah. Keep trying me to get better. Yeah. When I get there, I'm gonna blow up.
My dog.
I'm gonna blow up.
All right, what about you, Happy?
Man, to piggyback on what you said about man, not wanting to share, but like it took a minute. You know, I went through therapy, did my little thing. I'ma say for real, I'm a strong fact. Like I ain't gonna hold you.
Okay.
Like, and it ain't nothing bad. It's just me. That's just me. That's how I came up. I gotta put the pressure on. If I'm not putting the pressure on, I'm like this, chilling. I'm like, yeah, la la la. I gotta put myself.
That's when you start thinking and stuff.
Yeah, I gotta put myself behind the 8 ball before I can do anything.
I said challenge myself.
Like, but physically, I need to step away from the cheeseburgers and the ribs and everything. But I'm good, like for real. But I know what I need to do. But you ain't gonna do it until you know what I'm saying.
And honestly, man, it's easier. It's easier when you have people in your corner that's doing the same thing with you. You know what I mean? Whether it's exercising, you know, whether it's trying to learn a new craft or whatever. It's just like, you know, once you put your mind to it, and especially if you got like-minded people beside you that want to do the same thing, it's a little bit easier or whatever. So, you know, I just want us to challenge each other to be better friends, better boyfriends, husbands, brothers, you know, uncles, you know, just the whole nine, man, just the whole nine. So, without taking up any more of y'all time, man, I'm Kels, this is D-Lo, that's Will, Slip, Heavy, man. This is our first episode of OP Podcast, Our Opinion. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and
hit that button.
Yeah, hit that button, man, and we'll be back with another one.
We out.
That's a wrap.
We out. Peace.